Hello and welcome to our course on Adobe Dreamweaver CC. My name is Toby and I'm your instructor on the course. Now I should start by saying that the CC in Dreamweaver CC stands for Creative Cloud, and the version of Dreamweaver that this course is about is the version that is part of Adobe's Creative Cloud. If you haven't heard of Creative Cloud, maybe you didn't know what the CC stood for, you need to know enough about Creative Cloud to understand how this version works, and in particular how to get hold of a copy of Dreamweaver CC and in essence what the licensing arrangements are. Now I'm going to explain those to you in this first section. But if you'd like to do a bit of background reading on Adobe Creative Cloud, I suggest you go to the Adobe site and have a little read there. There's some presentations and some useful background information to what Adobe Creative Cloud is all about. But let's concentrate from this point onwards on the Dreamweaver element. Dreamweaver is a product that's been used for many years and has been very popular for many years for developing websites. Now, although many people say that it's for people who don't particularly want to get very technical when they're developing websites, you can do some pretty amazing things with Dreamweaver, and good technical knowledge will enable you to make even better use of the product. Having said that, just having basic knowledge and using some very straightforward elements of Dreamweaver can still give you great results. Over a period of years, Dreamweaver has gone through a succession of versions, and a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, a version came out called Dreamweaver CS6, and that, according to Adobe, is the last version that you could actually buy in a pack and install on your PC in what you might call a conventional way. The latest version of Dreamweaver, Dreamweaver CC, the one that is the subject of this course, you don't get in that way. What you do is to subscribe to Dreamweaver CC, normally by paying a monthly subscription fee or the equivalent. You get access to CC, and what happens is you download a copy of it onto your desktop. You can use it on your desktop for the period that you're paying the subscription, and then if you stop paying the subscription at any stage, basically it stops working. Now at this point I'm going to say that there are probably two groups of people following this course. First of all, the people that already have Dreamweaver CC installed, and secondly the people who don't. Now I'm going to address most of the rest of this section to the people that don't have Dreamweaver CC installed, and I'll come back to you in a moment. But first of all, here are a couple of things for all of you. This course is intended for people who really have no experience of developing a website using Dreamweaver, may not really know very much about developing websites in general. The course is probably also suitable for people who've used quite an old version of a web development tool, something like Microsoft's old front page, and really need all of their skills, their knowledge, etc. updated using a much more modern product with many of the new and upgraded features that we associated with a more recent project like Dreamweaver CC. If in fact you're an experienced web developer, you've got a good knowledge of Dreamweaver and a recent version of Dreamweaver, and you're really looking to learn some much more advanced web development techniques, this is probably not the course for you. This course really aims to appeal to people who are starting, or as I say, whose knowledge is perhaps out of date, and they want to move from beginning to develop websites through to what I'm loosely going to term an intermediate level of knowledge of developing websites. Having said that, with a tool that's as powerful as Dreamweaver CC, I hope you're going to be able to make very quick progress in developing your skills, and you'll really be impressed with how quickly you're starting to develop some pretty slick websites. So, if you're somebody that already has Dreamweaver CC installed, and you're itching to get started, you don't really need to follow the rest of this section, because in this section I'm going to talk about how to get hold of Dreamweaver CC if you don't already have it. So for those of you who have it already, you can skip on to the next section. Now the first thing that I need to point out is that what I'm going to be showing you here is the general approach to getting hold of Dreamweaver CC. Bear in mind that your locale will affect exactly how this works. Your locale will certainly affect the pricing. I'm looking at the Adobe US site here, and if you look in that bottom right hand corner of that page about Adobe Creative Cloud, you will see there membership plans, and if I just click on the drop down, you'll see that there is a list of possible plans. Now of course I have no control over what Adobe charge their customers, and if the past is anything to go by, those prices are going to vary on a fairly frequent basis. There are also various concessionary prices for students and for people who are already Adobe customers, and as we'll see in just a moment, there is even an option to get a free trial to get you started. Now I'm based in the UK, although I tend to do work which switches between the US and the UK. I'm currently using the Adobe US site. I will from time to time look at the Adobe UK site. In whatever other country you are in the world, you may find that things work differently, but as I understand it, the general approach is the same. So first of all, let's look at Creative Cloud in general. Because if you are going to start paying a subscription for Dreamweaver Creative Cloud, it will be as a Creative Cloud customer. Now in order to use Dreamweaver CC legally, you're going to need to join Adobe CC. Although you can join it on a free trial basis, as we'll see in just a moment. Now before we go through the start of the process of joining, let's just look at See All Plans down there. Now you then have a panel showing you the available plans. I can't emphasize strongly enough that this is very likely to change by the time that you watch this video, but I'm reasonably confident that the general approach will stay the same. Plans for individuals, plans for teams and business, plans for education. You can see the pricing for each. If I go back to plans for individuals, there are some options here. For instance, under this plan, complete, there's a drop down requires annual commitment, so that's £46.88 per month, provided you sign up for a year. You can then choose a cancel at any time option, that's £70 a month, and then 1 year prepaid. Works out significantly cheaper by paying a year in advance. Now I've got the currency set here to British pound sterling. You can obviously look at it in your own currency. Some of the options, for instance this one, offer a discount for existing customers, and you can just sign up for a single app. So if you definitely only want Dreamweaver CC, you only really need to pay for Dreamweaver CC. The Get Started options on the left give you 30-day app trials, and I'm sure that if you persevere you could get through this course in 30 days, and then you'd know all about Dreamweaver CC and whether you really wanted to start to pay a subscription to use it. And now I just want to show you a couple of other things to help you to decide which way to go in terms of Dreamweaver CC. First of all, let's suppose that I was thinking of joining using a complete plan. If I click on the join button under complete, it takes me to a page that sets out the sequence of events 1, 2, 3, 4 on the left there. If you already have an Adobe ID, you can sign in, and then as you see, review membership details, provide your payment information and confirm. But what I wanted to show you is this panel over on the right, because if you go for the complete option, this shows you the list of products that you would get. Now included in that list of products of course is Dreamweaver, but there are various others as well, quite a few products, and then other things, edge tools and services, other services. You actually get quite a lot. Some people have commented that it's quite an expensive subscription, but you do get a lot of software and services included in Creative Cloud membership. So that is one option, and particularly good if you plan to use any of the other Adobe products, such as Photoshop, for example. Now, if on the other hand I choose the single app option, click on Join, this panel changes into basically a list. Go down, find Dreamweaver, that's the product that I want, and then I can start subscribing to that single product. I have this choice here. Again, cancel at any time, requires annual commitment and 1 year prepaid. And then finally, the other option, and one that you may well want to use as you're just starting to learn Dreamweaver, is the try for free option. Now, if you want to try Dreamweaver for free, you will need to join the Creative Cloud. It won't cost you anything, they won't charge you any money. Make sure you don't click the wrong button anywhere, but if you've got an Adobe ID, you can use that. If not, you can sign up and get an Adobe ID. You can join CC. You will of course have no products as such, but you will then be able to get a trial version of Dreamweaver CC in our case, which means you'll get the trial version, you'll be able to download it, and you'll be able to start using it. And once you've logged in with your new or existing Adobe ID, you get access to this very impressive list of apps and services. And amongst those is Dreamweaver. Click on Download. And there's the facility to download the Dreamweaver trial. From this point onwards, I'm going to assume that you have downloaded the trial or that you've subscribed either to the whole of CC or to an individual app within CC, and that not only have you downloaded it, but you've installed it, and basically the software is working. If you have problems with the download or install, adobe.com is the place to go for support. I won't be covering installation problems on this course. So at this point, you need to make sure that the download and install has worked correctly. And then you should be in the same position as the people that have already moved on to the second section in the course and are probably waiting for you to join them, and will be ready to start using Dreamweaver CC. That's the end of this section. I will see you in the next one.